Welcome, everybody, to the Dr. Carolyn Dean Live Radio Show, featuring Dr. Carolyn Dean, along with host Ginny Sanders,
also known as Ginny Almighty,
who joins Dr. Dean on tonight's program. Phone lines are now open at 602-666-6027. That's 602-666-6027. And we'll be taking your calls from around the world and right here in the USA.
Hey, Ginny. Where are you, Ginny? There's nobody on the show.
Ginny.
There she is. Okay.
In her words.
Eat your words.
Here I am. Welcome, everybody, to Live with Dr. Carolyn Dean. So happy to have you with us this Monday, February 10th, 2020. And we're just so excited to be able to be with you once again this week. For all our new listeners, this is a live talk radio show with Dr. Dean. Our format of our show, we run for about half hour, 45 minutes on the introductions, just kind of updating you, letting you know what's going on, what we're doing in our world, inviting you to participate. Dr. Dean will always talk about the blog topic for the day, which happens to be boosting your immune system, which is a fun topic considering the state of the world we live in right now. And then we take your live calls at 602-666-6027. If you haven't heard from Dr. Dean before, maybe tuning in for the very first time, let me just also let you know that she is one of the most incredibly magnificent and beautiful women in the whole wide world. And on top of that, she's just she's so smart. She's just such a whippersnapper. She's so smart. She's just got all the goods when it comes to medicine and natural medicine and medical medicine and herbal medicine and acupuncture medicine and structural medicine like Egoscue and other kinds of treatments you can do for your body to straighten out your alignment. She knows how to take your daily medicine of fresh air and how to do lying down therapy when you need to rest. She's got it covered, all the bases. She knows total biology, which is the conflict basis of disease, and how to work with your emotions to release emotional blocks that may be actually quite literally making you sick, and she knows how to do that too. And what she even knows more than anything is how to help you find your way through the myriad of all these wonderful things that are non-threatening, safe strategies for working with your body, your mind, and your emotions to create your ultimate health and well-being. And if that's not enough, she has also formulated her own products so that she can help you achieve the best biological base for your well-being by giving you the building blocks that you need, nutritional building blocks, to help you create and sustain the health that you desire to have. And if you are just starting and haven't gotten there yet, we'll encourage you. If you've been there for a while, you're probably here to share your testimony or good news. And if you're just getting ready to get going, then what you're going to find out is you're absolutely in the right place. The worst is over. And just join us and have a great time living, learning, laughing, and getting better. So before I bring her in, my final piece that I need to tell you is that she does not give medical advice on a radio show. That's a no-no. But what she will do is tell you what she would do if she were in your shoes, which she has been quite often because she's kind of imposed a lot of lab rat things on herself in order to achieve the wisdom that she's got. But she's got it in spades, and she's willing to share it with you this evening. So without any further ado, welcome, my dear friend and one of the most glamorous and glorious people in the whole wide world, our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean.
Oh, Ginny, you make me smile. Thank you so much. Another beautiful introduction. And yes, the worst is over. We start out, or I do start out every week now, asking you to refer your practitioner. You want to think about this question. What if your doctor knew about REMAG years ago and could have prescribed it or recommended it to you? So we want your doctors to know about REMAG so that they can help all their patients. Also, be sure to use our referral candy for your 15% discount. You get a referral candy notice every time you purchase. And your referral gets 15% discount. You get 15% discount. Get your blood testing done with our home blood test kit. Just click on the research project at the top of rnareset.com. And after you register and after you get your first test results, you'll be getting a coupon to the extent of the price you paid for your test, which is $214. So we're offering $214 in free product just for getting your test done, because we're part of this research project. We want to know what our supplements, our dietary supplements, are doing for you at the level of your blood. And although in the past I've said I didn't trust a lot of blood testing, we know that the lab that's running these tests, ZRT, they're excellent. You know, we have communication with them, and it's one lab. It's not 500 people going to 500 different labs, and you can't really do any data collection. So we're really excited about doing this testing. And then I bring you up to date on the magnesium deficiency survey. I don't have the new numbers. We have over 15,000 people answering, and the trend has been all along people experiencing anxiety. It's 65%, 63.2% insomnia, muscle cramps 51%, heart palpitations 47.4%, restless legs 41.8%, and headaches 29.9% of the people who click onto our website and fill out those 6 quick questions. So that's what drives me and Ginny and our dozens of staff to keep reaching out and helping people support their cells. We're supporting cells, the structure and function of your cells with basic building blocks so you can achieve the health that you were born to live. So that's the beginning announcements, and then we go into, as Ginny said, supercharging your immune system. We do this during flu season, and yes, flu season is sort of supposed to be slowing down, but now we have this coronavirus. And I want to point out a few things. I know that we don't even know how many people are infected or affected. It did start in China, in Wuhan province. But you have to look at the ground and the environment. What kind of poverty or lack of poverty were the folks in that were first starting to get this virus? Because when you look at poverty in China, look at this. The Chinese government defines poverty as earning less than $416 a year, or around $1.10 a day. And the World Bank poverty line is $1.90 a day, or $700 a year. Now that's so far remote from what we experience here in North America, but you have to wonder, do these people have access to any medical care? Are they getting enough protein in their diet? Are they getting their building blocks to maintain their health? And that is vitally important. That's what we're talking about here. Your immune system is made up of cells, and our stated priority at RNA Reset is to supply the building blocks for your cells because healthy cells make a healthy body. And the cells of your immune system, your brain, your spleen, your liver, your heart, all the cells really do seem to need all the same building blocks. And so we try not to subdivide the body into the specialties, where we have the line that the specialist rigorously defends his or her right to be ignorant of almost everything except their own specialty. So we don't do that. We treat your body as a whole, and as I said, treat your cells as the focal point of the nutrients that we make. And so we've got this virus starting in China, and yes, it's being brought to other countries. And is it just the immune deficient people that are getting affected? It's quite possible. The Orthomolecular Medical Association newsletter put out a couple of press releases. Actually, one was vitamin C and its application to the treatment of nCoV coronavirus, how vitamin C reduces severity and deaths from serious viral respiratory diseases. So what pops up, we were notified of this by the OMNS today, a hoax alert site. It's called leadstories.com. And what do they say? Fake news. Vitamin C does not slow or stop the coronavirus. And whereas our article has 10 references of 10 studies that show the effects of vitamin C on viruses, this site just said, nope, not happening. And where we're talking about viral infections, and I don't think anybody's done a large-scale study of vitamin C and coronavirus, but we are interpolating or whatever the studies on viruses to say, yeah, it could be helping coronavirus. And what I say further in the blog that Ginny put out today, Supercharge Your Immune System, we have this ecosystem of 30 million human cells in our body, along with 39 trillion microbes, all of which have impeccably important jobs, including the healthy bacteria and yeast that keep you alive and strong. So there's this incredible balance with the microbes in our body. But if we go out of balance with our human cells, then these microbes, they can create a wedge in your body. We know that from yeast overgrowth. And I know personally, if I let my yeast get a little out of control, I'll get a staphylococcal bacteria infection, little boils in my nose, for Pete's sakes. So there is this fine balance, but we can learn to navigate it. And with the immune system, Ginny in the blog, which you can read at drcarolyndeanlive.com, she talks about the 3 levels of immune defense, the skin, the esophageal GI tract, and then in the blood, the white blood cells and the T cells. And everything is set up to protect the body against foreign invasion unless and until our body gets run down and our immune system gets overwhelmed. So what do? We correct the nutrient deficiencies. First, though, we do that by eating fresh whole food, breathing lots of fresh air, moving the body with exercise. The only way the lymphatic system can move foreign invaders out is with the muscles moving up against the lymph, and that's with movement and exercise. In the last 2 or 3 decades, the soil and environmental toxicity have created a nutrient depletion, and then that's where I came in to discuss the requirement the body had for certain minerals and vitamins, but in the most natural state. Before I list them off, though, I do want to say that psychologically, you can get pulled into this very negative media reporting of this epidemic. If you go to Wikipedia, you can find a list of the thousands of epidemics and even pandemics that occur throughout the world. So they're always occurring, and this is the next one in the lineup. But if you keep yourself healthy, then you can defend yourself. And the defense comes with vitamin C, which is our whole C reset. Vitamin D, we're using blue ice royal, and of late I've been recommending plant-based vitamin D3. There's lysine, which is in our RNA reset drops. Zinc, which is in our Remite. Selenium, which is in our Remite. B-complex, which is in our Realign. And there are a list of herbs and homeopathics that Ginny's taken out of my Future Health Now encyclopedia. And actually, that's where you should go to read about just a complete overview of what's available to help you treat a cold or a flu. I kind of tongue-in-cheek call colds and flus the body's way of eliminating mucus, a beneficial mucus elimination. And, you know, it may happen that in cold weather you're drinking alcohol, eating a lot of dairy or milk, and your mucus builds up. That becomes a home for the viruses that you pick up in, when you're in groups and crowds. So go to drcarolyndeanlive.com, download Future Health Now Encyclopedia. It's a free download. It's 600 pages. It's 130 conditions, and in the search function, you can type in colds and flus and get this whole list of things that you can do to support your body if you get an infection. What are they? As well as the ones I've mentioned, Pico Silver is incredible for supporting the immune system. Remag is going to be very helpful as well. And our Flora Revive, which should come out very shortly, to support the intestinal microbiome. Okay, so that's our overview of supporting the immune system. And I know I've kind of rushed through it a bit, so I'll just stop and ask Ginny what she thinks I've left out.
No, I think that's all very good, and just that if at first you don't succeed, try again. How would you talk about, dosing some of these things?
Well, in the Future Health Now encyclopedia, I do talk about dosing, so you can look there. And I guess what I'd say is when you see a study about vitamin C, for example, they're using ascorbic acid, but we're talking about the whole vitamin C complex. So in the ascorbic acid studies, they're talking about 3 to 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C to pound that for your treatment. But the way we are focused is to take some of all our products that will boost the immune system, and they work synergistically. They work together, and you don't have to take huge, enormous doses of any one of them. You take moderate doses of a handful. Your Pico Silver. When I had my first airplane cold after I got the Pico Silver, I took 6 teaspoons in the day, first day, and by the next morning, my sore throat and cold were gone. And I'd continued with 3 teaspoons and then dropped to 2. Now I'm taking 1 a day. So partly we want to get people used to dosing themselves. If you feel bad, take more. If you start to feel good, take less. but our customers should be on their Remag and Remite already and should be quite capable of just supporting their immune system a little more and fighting off what comes at them. Okay, Jenny?
Very good, very good. Excellent, excellent. What do you think the most recommended immune-boosting system, nutrient, or supplement is that has absolutely no value whatsoever that you wish people wouldn't even waste their money on?
Flu shots.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. All right.
In a big study, it was an overview of many vaccine studies by a non-drug group, the name of which escapes me right now. They found that flu shots had a 4% rate of effectiveness. So when you take a flu shot, it is a placebo, and unfortunately it can cause side effects. So if you take a flu shot, be sure to take your Remag and your Remite and your vitamin C as well to protect you against the flu shot. Okay, so let me get to, we had just a few blog questions. So a husband is writing in, it's peripheral to colds and flus actually, but he's writing in about his wife who's currently on her period and experiencing very heavy bleeding, and she's had a headache for 24 hours. About a year ago, her period started becoming problematic with lots of blood loss and headaches. She looks pale and is weak. What would Dr. Dean do to alleviate this if these were her symptoms? And please help explain why all the blood loss is happening. And I guess the background there is diagnosed with Epstein-Barr, has chronic fatigue symptoms for 20 years, exacerbated after the birth of her last child 4 years ago. She had a benign Bartholin cyst removed in December and was given IV EDT inoculation. Okay, she improved, but then they actually got in touch with me because the cyst wasn't healing, and I recommended bentonite clay mixed with pico silver to help heal the cyst, and there was a big exclamation mark that worked. So but back to the symptoms, lots of magnesium deficiency symptoms, anxiety, insomnia, depression, etc. Now, at that time, around the Bartholin cyst, I recommended an increase in Remag dosing, but she's only on 24 drops of Remag and 12 drops of Remite. Does drink the Restructure, which she loves. Not on the RNA reset drops yet. Also taking B vitamins, vitamin D, and fish oils. Okay, so let's see. When you have your menses, this is a regular detoxification for women. That's why women used to be healthier than men because they got rid of toxins every month. That was great. And I say used to be healthier because in the past couple of decades, with women being told to take so much calcium, which is so poorly absorbed, what happens is the excess calcium precipitates in soft tissues, including the arteries, and has increased women's rate of heart disease, which makes them just as unhealthy as men now. So the toxicity factor in menses is high because it's a way to excrete toxins. So if you're taking toxic products, they will try to flood out through the menses. So even, aspartame sweeteners, for example, they'll cause heavy bleeding. People with low thyroid, women with low thyroid can have heavy periods. There can be fibroid activity. That's an estrogen dominance picture that would have to be looked at. If a fibroid is growing and stretching the inside of the uterus, that can lead to heavy bleeding. what do I recommend? What would I be taking if I was, 25 years younger and still having my periods? I would be taking Whole C Reset, because what happens is it's like the blood vessels are kind of weak and floppy and just leaking. You want to tighten the capillaries. So the bioflavins in the Whole C Reset will do that, as will the Remag. So hopefully our customer can increase her Remag more and more. Iron, you need to replace the iron losses. When you're iron deficient, you can get anemic, the blood can get thin, and you can bleed even more. Liver is the best source for iron. And a herb for heavy bleeding is Vitex, Vitex. And I think those are the basic recommendations, so we'll start there. Okay, the next question, again, not on colds and flus, but about the immune system. It's about Sjogren's. Sjogren's is caused by white blood cells mistakenly attacking mucus-producing glands. The cause is unknown. Studies have indicated a viral or bacterial infection, but everybody gets those, so that's sort of a non sequitur. And, of course, they're trying to say it could be genetic or environmental, again, not saying much. So the symptoms are joint pain, swelling and stiffness, swollen salivary glands, skin rashes, dry skin, vaginal dryness, persistent dry cough, prolonged fatigue, and dry mouth, dry eyes. Everything is kind of drying up because the mucus-producing glands aren't producing mucus. Now, when I've worked with this, when I was in private practice, I would be working with yeast overgrowth and mineral and magnesium deficiencies. Both those approaches will support the immune system. And now this person is wondering about, do you boost the system in Sjogren's, or do you try to calm it? Because there is talk, do you push antioxidants or push immune-boosting supplements on people whose immune system seems to be attacking them? And what I say about our approach is that we're not boosting anything but the cells. We are giving the building blocks to the cells, and then the body just does its thing, which we have no clue about. So the approach of doing the Remag, Remite, Pico Silver, a yeast detox, that is a basic balancing of the immune system, neither boosting nor calming. So hopefully that'll be helpful, Maggie. And the next question is from one of our very sweet noctogenarians. Is that how you say noctogenarian, Bob? Is that a 90-year-old? I've forgotten the word for that. But Bob's in the kitchen making noise, and his hands probably aren't clean to unmute. So Sylvia is saying that for 2 months she's had outrageous itching all over her back. She might have called in lately about that. And her medical doctor and the dermatologist both said, well, you're old and your skin is dry. What do you want? She said she immediately walked out of the office. The dermatologist turned around and said, you have dry skin, you're old, walked out of the office as if that was it. So she's tried various things, and I know Sylvia's probably using the Remag lotion, but perhaps it's time to go to some homeopathy, Sylvia. I will actually send this URL to Ginny to put on the chat, and also maybe to email to you. It's a list of 7 homeopathic remedies for the dry skin. Graphites, apis, which is bee sting, Rustox, which is poison ivy, Urtica urens, which is stinging nettle, Mercurius, which is mercury, sulfur, and sepia. And all of those are designed that in their natural state, like if you rub poison ivy on your skin, you'd get a rash, an itchy, terrible rash. But if you take a homeopathic of poison ivy, Rhus tox, then it can neutralize that itch or sting or irritation. So the Remag lotion and homeopathy would be what I would work with. And someone is asking about lichen sclerosis and cancer, and we really don't talk much about, but just to recommend to boost the immune system, and we refer on to Dr. David Holt, who does our total biology consulting. So Elizabeth was diagnosed with lichen sclerosis and recently developed cancer, stage 1 in 2 sites on her skin, surgically removed. She's going to do some radiation but not chemotherapy. And she asked me to address the supplemental needs to improve the immune system and to improve tissue health and to reduce cancer growth. Well, that would be our products. Taking our products, I would add the Renew face cream to put on those areas, because that's got the Renew and the Whole Seed Reset together. Renew is a very concentrated form of our RNA reset drops. But I would look at a consultation with Dr. Holt, and as Ginny reminded us last week, Dr. Holt does the first consultation for free, a complimentary consultation to see if you all can work together. The next one, Lynn is asking about my recommendations for reactivated Epstein-Barr virus in a 60-year-old affecting the nervous system. Antiviral, herbal, antiviral drug remedies tend to increase symptoms to unbearable, perhaps due to die-off. So I don't know if Lynn is already on our products, but I mean that would be the way to start, because most of our focus is on total body meltdown, and to me that is the layers of Epstein-Barr and chronic fatigue that I started noticing back in the 80s, and eventually they took over the immune system, they took over the thyroid, the adrenal glands, so that everything became affected in total body meltdown. And what I've tried to do with the RNA reset products, or completement formulas, is give the basic building blocks for the cells so that the immune system can support itself, and especially with the minerals being in liquid form, Lynn, you can start very, very gradually so that you don't stir up and restart your immune system too strongly in the beginning, because if you're getting die-off from the antivirals, then you want to create a balance so that you're slowly improving your immune system but not causing too much die-off. That's the mailbag. I do have testimonials, but I'm just going to mention a couple things right now, Ginny, 2 more things. I had a collagen question come up, and collagen is the new sexy supplement on the block. I mean, seriously, folks, there are a couple hundred different supplements out there, and hundreds of companies produce them, so that there's an overwhelming amount of supplements to choose from. But collagen's getting a lot of play lately. But I say that eating an animal protein diet to get your amino acids, taking Whole Seed Reset and Remag and Remite minerals, they have all the building blocks to build your collagen. And when people say, oh, at a certain age, 60 or whatever, you're making half the collagen you used to. Well, that's because 80% of the people don't have even magnesium. They're not eating properly. They're not getting their minerals. So how can they build their own collagen? And as we've proven over and over again with the Remite, when you take your Remite with the 9 minerals out of the 12 that support thyroid hormone production, you start producing your own thyroid hormones, and you don't need replacement therapies. So collagen is a replacement therapy that makes the whatever PR and marketing people make you think that you'll never be able to get your collagen again unless you buy their product, whereas if you're taking your building blocks, you will. And you can make your own collagen broth as well, of course, with any bones, chicken bones, beef bones, any bones, thigh bone. And with that broth, it makes a great base for your soups and stews, et cetera, et cetera. So, there are more words about collagen. Copper is important for collagen, so that's in our Remite, and there's a big anti-copper movement that's really frustrating because you do need a bioavailable copper, which is what we have in Remite. And the second point I want to make today is about heart health. I have a free download of a book called Heart Health. It used to be my AFib book, but I put the whole lineup of heart disease in the book now, and the way we treat, or the way I would treat my body if I had heart disease. I had heart palpitations. I never called it heart disease. It was an electrolyte imbalance. So I've been skimming 2 heart books that I don't know how recent they are, but one is called State of the Heart, Exploring the History, Science, and Future of Cardiac Disease. And I thought, oh, this is cool. But what it's doing is glorifying all the mechanics of heart treatment, the heart replacement surgery, for Pete's sakes, and, all the stents that they put in, the blood vessels. And, of course, they're helping people, but they never once talk about magnesium to prevent the condition. And what's kind of scary about the state of the heart is that it's almost like they think it's inevitable that we'll all end up with plastic robotic hearts to replace our weak and diseased natural heart. So that's the ultimate replacement therapy, okay, folks? With the body as a bag of chemicals with replaceable parts. The other book, Beat the Heart Attack Gene, The Revolutionary Plan to Prevent Heart Disease, Stroke, and Diabetes. So this one promotes genetics as the key to treating the heart, because with knowing your genes, you can find the right statin drugs and the right diabetes drugs and the right high blood pressure drugs. I talked about this in Death by Modern Medicine years ago, where Dr. Roses, who worked with one of the big pharmaceutical companies, was talking about the genetics of medical pharmacology, and he was saying outright, well, most drugs don't work. We're gonna find out the best drugs for the individual by knowing your genes. So that's where this whole Beat the Heart Attack Gene is coming from. And the doctors that wrote the book, they have a clinic where they do the $1 million workup, including the genetic testing, to find out basically how to treat your cholesterol. But seriously, cholesterol is not even the cause of heart disease. They also want to determine and monitor your level of inflammation, but inflammation occurs because of magnesium deficiency. They want to identify the root cause of arterial disease. No, they don't. because the root cause is magnesium deficiency and calcium buildup because there's not enough magnesium to keep the calcium in solution. And they want to render care that is individualized. And they say you cannot get any more personal than your genetic makeup. So, with cardiology locked into this approach, even while saying they are revolutionary, there's nothing new. And this is why we do what we do. We put out the information. We get people to get their health back by supporting the cells in their body. So there. Ginny, over to you.
Very good. Excellent rant and great information. Very good. I want to say really quickly a couple things, Carolyn, one of which is that some unfortunate soul who is about to incur the wrath of Ginny Almighty is trying to hack our chat line and prevent us from communicating with our dear and most precious audience. And so this person will be heavily punished. And in the meantime, if you're writing something on the chat, you'll have to use the InQuick, and that will allow you to get around this person's nonsensical behavior and get your question to me. So use your InQuick instead, or email the show at questions, questions, at drcarolyndeanlive.com. We have other ways of getting around these behaviors, and we will deal with this person. Okay, now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is we have a lot of callers this evening at 602-666-6027, among which are some of the most precious people in the world, including my very dear Presley Alford, who probably doesn't have a question. He's probably just listening. But Presley is one of my very first customers ever, going back into the history of my Alex Jones campaign in 2012. And I love him to tears. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to Presley, and also Michael Kulikowski, who's always been hanging out with us, and our dear friend Michael. We have so many wonderful people who've been our customers for such a long period of time, and they're always hanging out with us in so many different ways. So when I see them, I just like to acknowledge them. Now, if somebody wants to talk to Carolyn tonight, you've got to hit star 5 on your keypad. Will raise your hand in the studio and let me know that you have a question or comment, and I'll put you on the phone with Dr. Dean. Again, star 5 will raise your hand. Otherwise, your phone will remain on mute, and we will just press on with our important radio show this evening, and you will not be able to speak to her because we won't be able to hear you. So, again, star 5 if you have a question for Dr. Dean. Okay, now, I did hear some questions earlier on the chat before our unfortunate fellow started to attack us in such an unwholesome way. And one of the questions was, Ginny, here comes Carolyn, what about Flora Revive?
No.
That's such a funny question. So funny. Flora Revive is great. Yeah.
It's great. And it is coming, and yes, we shouldn't talk about things until we know they're really and truly there. But we apologize. Our manufacturer apologizes. The raw material producer apologizes. But we are trying to make the most perfect product. And what happens is, if the product, the raw material, doesn't pass inspection in any little tiny way, then we reject it. And that's something that I promised myself I would do if I ever had a supplement company, because when I was trying to make a herbal product with the mirror technology, I wanted to make it available in capsules. And I think I've told the story before when I discussed with manufacturers, well, what happens if you get a product, if you're importing it from outside of the U.S. and it's contaminated? Oh, well, we just irradiate it, or we put ethylene dioxide through it, and he listed off a number of ways that they decontaminate it. And I said, what do you mean? Do you list the fact that you've radiated it and used ethylene dioxide? Oh, no, we're not required to do that. As long as the raw material passes a COA and doesn't have any bacteria and doesn't have this and doesn't have that, it's fine. And it may be dead, but according to them, it's fine. So this is what we're up against in the dietary supplement world, because you can have a cheap product that's dead, and they can hype it and sell it for enormous amounts, and then you wonder why it's not working. People are always saying to us, I can't believe, when I started your product, I've been taking so many others, and I didn't feel anything. When I took yours, I felt it, and that's because it's alive. Right, Jenny? It is totally alive.
It is totally alive, and I was thinking about that today because we have another product in development that we're not going to talk about yet, but I was noticing how quickly it turns to a crystal form. And I thought, our customers are, a lot of our hardcore customers are going to know that means it's alive, and when the minerals and stuff hit the air, it just crystallizes. I mean, it's so powerful. Our stuff it's just moving. It's constantly evolving. That's the case with the drops. They're constantly evolving, and they're constantly building momentum, and they're picking up new energies, and they're bringing that in, and it's so delightful. But, yeah, when you're not dealing with living things, anything can happen. Nothing will happen. You're dealing with our stuff. Anything can happen because it's alive. It's got its own consciousness. It's so funny. So anyway, but it is coming. Now, here's another good thing. Somebody asked about making their own Remag lotion. And honestly, let me just say, if we thought anybody had a prayer of making it, we would have encouraged you to do it yourself, as we do so many things. All, do it yourself. But Remag lotion just does not blend well with anything. So we finally have gotten the word that we're going to have some bottles shipping to us at the end of this week. So hang in there. It'll probably only be about another 10 or 15 days, and you'll have some in your hands. So it's on its way. We've gotten all the kinks. A lot of it was packaging, that ridiculous pump and things like that. So it's all good. That stuff's going to fly off the shelves. Goodness gracious, everybody's been waiting. So that'll be a lot of fun. So just hang in there for that. Okay, let's see where we are with our phone callers, 602-666-6027. Let's go now if you're ready for some phone calls, Carolyn.
Yes.
We'll go out to the great state of New Jersey, and we'll hit area code 732-732. You're on the line with Dr. Dean. If you could give us your name and then state your question or comment.
Hi, my name is Diana. How are you today?
Hello, I don't know, my headset is a bit weird as usual. Is it Helena or Elena?
Oh, it's Diana. We've spoken before.
Well, oh, good. Okay, Diana, go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question. I asked you last week with regards to my daughter's lymph node, and you had mentioned that I should get a clay for her. Now, I have something here. It's Redmond clay. I have one that's a powder, and then I also have one that's first aid Redmond clay. So which do you think is best, to make the paste with the powder, or is there something else that you recommend instead?
I like the powder. Any of those, Redmond clay is a well-known clay, so that's fine. But I like to mix it with the Pico Silver to get that immune-boosting property.
Oh, okay. I just got my Pico Silver last week, so let's see. I do. How much Pico Silver do I mix into the clay?
Just 1 teaspoon, and then make the rest water. But you'll find you don't need much water with clay, and you don't need much clay either. So just be careful to make a little bit at a time. Okay?
Okay, so just use a little bit of the clay and a little bit of the water, and then add a teaspoon of the Pico Silver.
Well, what you would do is, depending on how much you want to cover, say you take a teaspoon of the clay. Well, that's going to expand with a teaspoon of pico silver and maybe another half teaspoon of water into about 2 teaspoons of clay. It'll kind of swell. So you're going to end up with 2 teaspoons of clay dough to put on her lymph node.
Okay. And then I should wrap it. What kind of wrap do I get? Sort of like a
thin, and if you have some gauze, but just wrapping in the sense to not to keep it adhered to her skin and not to ruin her clothes or bedclothes.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Dr. Dean. Have a wonderful night.
Okay, Diana, keep us posted. Bye-bye.
I will. Thank you. So long.
You're welcome.
Okay, excellent. Area code 917-917, our good friend David. Good evening, David. How are you?
Good evening, Jenny. Finally, I saw how you look like. And good evening, Dr. Dean.
Hello. Jenny got you in early this week. Usually she leaves you till the end.
I know.
Okay, what's going on?
Dr. Dean, would you say that before, during, or after a meal, is that a way to increase our tolerance with supplementing with more magnesium? If you understand my question.
Well, probably the Remag absorbs better away from food. You know,
okay. It's because we don't drink water with food.
And there you go. Exactly. Yeah, good point.
So if I take a half a teaspoon with food, that's not like water. It's hardly, it's a half a teaspoon.
Oh, no, that's sometimes, David, I've said to people to even put their Remag in their psyllium and putting it in their food. Maybe it slows down the absorption, for the people who get some of the laxative effect early on for reasons of toxicity or sensitivity. So the food, I just slow it down a little bit. Not a problem. Okay.
Okay. Now, is there a way to call the program from out of the country?
Yes, it's on the internet, Achieve Radio. Yeah, Jenny, are there international phone numbers? Are you going on a trip, David?
I'm going to Israel to be with my brother. He's sick.
Jenny, are there international numbers, or do people come in on Skype or something?
There are international numbers, and you can Skype, and both of those are on achieveradio.com, David, at the top. As you look across the top at Achieve Radio, it says numbers, call-in lines, and it'll show you where they are. It'll tell you the call-in lines.
Okay.
And
and my voice is still going to stay the same, right? Attractive.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, what are you taking to your brother?
I'm taking him Remag, of course, Remite, silver, pico silver. I'm going to take all the good stuff to him.
Okay, very good. All right, excellent.
And we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, good for you.
Very good.
Well, safe journey, David. Safe journey.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your answer.
Okay.
Yes, and post on the chat line if you can't get through on the phone, and we'll figure out how to get through to you, okay?
Okay. Good night. Thank you.
Good night, David.
Good night, David.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Safe travels.
Bye-bye.
Very good. Well, we know that his brother's going to have a massively huge revival when he gets there, and there's nothing better than Remag unless it's mixed with love, and then it just takes it to the nth degree of its perfection, and it's incredible what happens.
Perfect.
Just incredible. All right, 602-666-6027. If you're on the line, you want to talk to Dr. Dean tonight, hit star 5 on the keypad. Otherwise, we will keep on with our important conversation. And we still have somebody who's attacking the chat line, so I don't think we're going to be able to use our chat function tonight, everybody. So, again, just check in with us at questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com. Or, maybe we could click over to the YouTube channel. And that's a good idea. And then go over to YouTube and look for Achieve Radio, and then we'll just chat over there. Always more than one way to skin a rabbit or whatever we're skinning tonight. Okay, so we'll take a quick break and come back with hour 2 of the show. Dr. Dean's going to get some Remag water, and I'm going to get some Remag water, and we'll be right back.
Live radio show, along with host Ginny Sanders, right after this brief station break. You can also get updates and resources online by visiting drcarolyndean.com.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
What city plays?
The old categories. They don't apply anymore. And we're just superhuman, discarnate things right now.
What city plays?
We're well beyond the categories for men and women right now. And we're just superhuman, discarnate things right now.
Give me body.
Bring back the body.
Give me body.
Bring back the body.
Give me body.
I do advocate immediate fast to bring back the body.
Give me body.
Bring back the body.
Give me body.
AchieveRadio.com.
We return now to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with host Ginny Sanders. Phone lines are open during live broadcast at 602-666-6027. At 602-666-6027.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 live with Dr. Carolyn Dean here on Achieve Radio. I did flip over to YouTube and found some of you there. So if you want to chat with me, just go over onto the YouTube. See, we will always have the victory, even over the silliness. So thank you very much, everybody. That's wonderful. All right, hour 2. What shall we do, Carolyn? Let's see. Who wants to chat with you? See, everybody's just enthralled with your voice and our wonderful presentation. Nobody's really trying to chat right at this moment. So what shall we say?
Well, here's something, Jenny. I was just in the bathroom, and I looked at my hair, and there were a couple of things poking out, so I started to cut the various wayward hairs. And that's something you've never told people, that I cut my own hair. Have you?
No, I have never bragged on that. I have never bragged on that. Well, I didn't know if that was private information, but I can definitely brag about it now because I have been a witness to the self-styling, the delightful stylings of Dr. Carolyn Dean. Yes, I can. Yes, absolutely.
Leaving little chopped up hairs wherever I go.
That's right. That's right. When she sees something she's not satisfied with, she just cuts it off. Just snip right there. And there it goes. And she's happy again. No, you always look so cute. It's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Funny.
I have testimonials if you would like me to go through some of them.
Sure, that sounds wonderful. I love testimonials. They're always so fun.
Yep. Okay, so here we go. I recently discovered your products, and they are helping me immensely to get off drugs and feel better. I can only imagine how I will feel down the road as I continue to take these supplements. I appreciate all the information I can gather, and I'm so very grateful for these updates as well. And that's from Jean. Thank you, Jean. Next one, Remag Positive Effects. Before I met you, I had a lymph node gland under my right arm next to my breast. It just came up, and at first was the size of an egg, then went down to the size of an egg yolk. It hurt, too. I gave it lots of attention. And so I think she's implying there that by giving it attention, it sort of probably aggravated it. I had an ultrasound done, and the doctor wanted it x-rayed every 6 months. And then she says, not likely. Then I had a reaction to amoxicillin. Oh, this is Sandy. So this is Sandy reviewing her testimonial. And then I had a bad reaction to amoxicillin, which brought me to you. I put the Remag lotion on it 3 times a day, and over the months it went down so much I forgot about it. So actually that's something for Diana with her daughter. I mean, I'm thinking the daughter's lymph node, I think it's in her neck, is more an infection, whereas Sandy's lymph node was under her right arm, and it was big. And then she's talking about mixing Remag liquid with arnica cream, and she said that's helpful for her, and that's because she's out of the lotion. And she's also has used some olive oil with the Remag liquid and avocado oil. I mean, Sandy's a baker, a chef, so she's going to be mixing things up, no question. Yes, and she's saying that the best lotion is still to come, because we are each batch actually we are improving it. And I have a new ingredient to put in the batch we're making after this one. Another testimonial. Since I haven't had the chance to directly let you know how I'm doing, I thought I would share this. Oh, and she said, I made a wonderful discovery was that I have new tissue growing underneath the horrible scar on my right lower leg. That hole in my leg is actually filling in. Now, this customer did send us a picture of this a while ago. I don't have the picture in front of me. She said, I had a red rash on the front of my scar that was yeast or bacterial overgrowth. My leg had a 4.5-inch line of infection after surgery from a sports-related injury. The doctor wanted to amputate. I would not sign the form to save my foot and ankle. I was 16 years old. I'm now 58. The scar left after a series of operations, a significant dent in the bone. Now, she doesn't say the bone, actually. When I hear a dent, I think of it as bone, especially if it's on her shin. And she said, unbelievably, the hole is filling in. This can only be attributed to my consistent consumption of Remag formula. I take as much Remag as I can drink with my salted water. Feeling the hole fill in after 42 years is amazing. Thank you. Okay, sorry I stumbled through that one. I hadn't really edited it before. Now, someone is on Facebook It's talking about Gittleman syndrome. Now, Gittleman's is a genetic kidney disorder that causes an imbalance of ions, including potassium, magnesium, and calcium. And the signs and symptoms usually appear in late childhood or adolescence. So this Facebook person says, your Remag ad popped up in my timeline. I wanted to let you know you have a customer for life now. Having been to the ER 20 times this past year and one heart attack later, and I'm only 36, I can speak for the power of magnesium. I have Gittleman syndrome and I take high amounts of magnesium. I've tried all types and brands but kept telling my doctor, who wanted to diagnose me with everything under the sun along with my Gittleman's, that it was something else. I told them the standard blood tests for magnesium are piss poor and do not actually test the intracellular magnesium level. I could be a 1.9 blood level and have palpitations, and my red count would be at 5. I had to go privately to test it myself because my doctor wouldn't test it. My other friend with the same condition was having seizures at a serum level of 1.9 and had to have a tissue test done that showed the magnesium was not in her tissues. She gets weekly magnesium infusions and is fine now. Okay, so then she describes the importance of the magnesium chloride as the base of our Remag because, as we know, chloride is one of the most important electrolytes in the body, et cetera, and so she said, even though my magnesium, potassium, and chloride levels were normal on paper, I physically wasn't. So this is the problem. The testing isn't, the blood testing isn't what's in the tissues or in the cells, for which we need the ionized magnesium test, and that's the focus of the first paper that's coming out shortly on our University Magnesium Remag research. And now she says my blood pressure and sugar no, she said before Remag, blood pressure and sugar going up and down, pH was too alkaline, dizzy spells, flu-like symptoms. I started magnesium chloride, and it has stabilized my blood pressure, sugar, and lowered my urine pH to 6. She is taking some potassium as well. And then she talks about various kinds of magnesium. She said, I just had to agree with the link and praise your product for stabilizing my health. Thank you. So, yes, I'm sorry. There are a lot of people give us so much information. I get educated by it, but sorry to seem like I'm rambling on. Ginny, you can interrupt me anytime you have a phone call or something on YouTube.
Okay, we do have phone calls, so we can do those if you'd like.
Sure. Very good.
Okay. Very good. And I called him out a little earlier and said my hellos to Presley Alford. Hello, Presley.
Hey, good afternoon, you guys. How are you?
We're good. We're very good. Nice to hear your voice.
Man, you know what? I can't believe it's been eight years already. I heard you say that at the beginning of the show. You know, I've been with you guys since around 2012, and I've constantly taken just about everything you guys make. And I've never really done a testimonial, but I wanted to just do one for the people that are just now listening in and just now kind of tuning in to what Dr. Carolyn Dean has going on here. And I got to tell you, it's been a really good 8 years. When I first started taking her products, I was actually sleep deprived, and I was having leg cramps, and my wife was also suffering from a lot of magnesium deficiencies. But since meeting her, listening to her, I've learned so much, and I just can't thank her enough for it. Her and Jenny, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just want to say that you know, I've been with you guys so long, and I'm a customer for life as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. That means a lot because, you know, Presley, how it goes with products. There'll be a lot of hype about it, and people jump on the bandwagon, and then, you know, within a couple of bottles, they just drop it because they don't notice any difference. So we have so many.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's about the individual as well, because if someone I've actually given your products to people that would actually need it, and they would take it, but then they wouldn't take it, and then they wouldn't take it correctly. It's about the individual too, wanting to be dedicated to something, and then being dedicated to his or her health. That really matters too. You know, your products are very effective, but it's going to be up to the individual to take them consistently.
Yeah, it's almost like they look for excuses not to help themselves or not to do something. But yeah, it's up to them. You know, if I don't know if it's that some people don't feel worthy, or who knows what it is. But so many of the people that are our customers, they've had a lot of problems, and they'll do what it takes now. But you know what we're trying to do, Presley, is we're trying to get the younger people. We want to get the 20, 30, 40-year-olds to start taking the Remag before they have 10 years of symptoms. I mean, that's what I find so frustrating.
Right.
Yeah. You know, how many years are people going to suffer before they find their answers? And it is difficult, you know, there's so much out there. But we're doing fine. All our customers are doing fine, so we're pretty happy, actually.
Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Thanks, Presley. We'll talk to you in another 10 years.
Take care. Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Presley. Thank you, sweetheart. It's so good to hear from him. He's such a dear. What a precious man. Very, very sweet. I don't know if he even remembers, but he had a whole seminar on Remag for his aunties and everything in his hometown.
Oh.
You know, it was, he brought them all together and tried to get them to get it going. It's hard, though, sometimes to get customers, you know, like he said, you got to be dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Okay, area code 731, great state of Tennessee. You're on the line with Dr. Carolyn Dean. If you could give us your name and then state your question or comment.
It's Priscilla again.
Hi, Priscilla.
You mentioned about taking the sea salt water.
Yeah.
I was wondering, does it work the same if I would take my quarter teaspoon of salt and then drink my water after it?
I've heard people doing that, but it might the sea salt might not get dissolved enough to break down into the ions of the minerals for better absorption.
Okay.
That's why I say to people, it's not so much that, you know, you sprinkle it or use it on your food, because what we're looking at is it dissolving in the water.
Okay. Because for me, I have a very difficult time drinking salt water, but I love the taste of salt.
Oh, I see. Well, then, you know, then you'll just adapt to, like you said, taking, I don't know if I take a whole quarter in my mouth, but take an eighth of a teaspoon and then swallow it, or hold it in your mouth for a little bit and take it with a lot of water so that it kind of dissolves in your stomach.
Yeah, okay.
Very
it was
good.
like, I can do that. But to drink my salty water, a mildly salty water, I just about cannot do that.
Isn't that funny? Because I love the taste now. I can't stand plain water. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now my mag water, I sure like that.
Oh,
my Remag water.
Yeah.
I don't want water without that.
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. I'm so glad you're on board. I really appreciate your dedication.
I've waited 4 years to find how to get where to get you, because all I could find was your www site, and I don't have internet access.
Oh, that's right. You said.
And so
you found
I found your number. I found you.
The worst is over now, right?
Yes. I just thank God for you being there.
Thanks, Priscilla. And thanks for calling in and giving us a high five.
Yes. You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Very good, very good. Excellent. Okay, let's see. 602-666-6027 is the number if you'd like to talk with Dr. Dean tonight. You've got to hit *5 on your keypad to raise your hand and let me know you've got a question or comment, and then we'll put you online with her. And if you don't hit *5, then your phone will remain muted and you won't be able to talk to her because you won't be heard. Now, I just have to say that our most precious Belinda, who I just love to tears, trotted over and found me on YouTube. And is this working? Yes, it's working. So I can see you on there, Belinda. She's so cute. I just love her. She's precious. Okay, what's next, Carolyn?
Okay, Facebook testimonials, and I apologize. They sort of do ramble on, and I haven't edited them, but I'll just keep going. 76-year-old gentleman, I think it is Marcus, I have diverticulosis, which sometimes becomes diverticulitis. I had 3 episodes before Pico Silver. I used to be hospitalized, given intravenous antibiotics around the clock. He was in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in October of last year, 4 months ago. Had a recurrence, took the antibiotics, and a few weeks ago I felt the inflammation of my diverticula again. I've been suffering the pain for a whole week. My GP gave me 2 types of antibiotics. Then I remembered I had Pico Silver. I began to take a teaspoon with aloe vera, and I do recommend aloe in the yeast protocol, aloe or psyllium seed powder. So he took a teaspoon with a teaspoon of aloe vera liquid to get it, to drag it into the intestines. Took a maximum of 6 teaspoons a day for several days. And he says, well, folks, what a miracle. Here I am now, relieved of the pain, the inflammation of the diverticula, and ready to join the American SEALs, thanks to Dr. Dean, her gracious team at her customer care. I still haven't found out what the maximum daily dose is to take on a permanent basis as a prophylactic to ward off diverticulitis and other infections. I still need to be informed whether it's advisable as a prophylactic to add the aloe vera. Wish to find out. So, Marcus, then I think we answered him through our Facebook customer service. And I said, personally, what I would do is take a prophylactic 1 teaspoon a day with aloe, and when you know there's going to be stress or an iffy diet, so like another layer of prophylaxis, stress or an iffy diet, I would take 2. And when you feel pain, irritation, inflammation, take 4, and 6 would be my maximum during an acute episode. As the gut heals, there will be less flares. Of course, I would also use our Remag Remite to help heal the very structure of the intestines and realign for detoxing all the meds you have had to take. And the yeast detox is laid out and reset the yeast connection because of all the antibiotics. Now, I didn't mention the restructure. That would be very helpful, actually, to heal the gut. So, Ginny, that's pretty monumental because diverticulitis is a very difficult condition to treat. And I think I'll add that testimonial to the Future Health Now encyclopedia because people do need something to support the structure and function of their intestines and make sure those little diverticuli pockets don't blow up. So, isn't that awesome?
I think it's amazing, and it is true because we have a lot of people who have that issue, and it is difficult to heal, and I'm just so glad that our products work for people. I mean, yeah. Pico Silver gets probably the most shocking testimonials because it just goes to show you that when you give people biological assets, the body's so super smart, it can just decide what it wants to do. I mean, you run the gamut of the rotator cuff lady all the way to diverticulitis to, the dog's leg that almost had to be amputated, and then, all the subtle things of people just taking it on a regular basis and not falling sick to things that are in the air and stuff like that. And then even your dramatic thing, six pulls on the, teaspoon, and the next thing you know, you've bounced back. So it really is exciting to see all the things that it can do.
Right. Yes, I forgot the rotator cuff. People with joint problems, what we say there is in Chinese medicine, when you have an internal infection, the Chinese say that the body can divert the infection to your joints to protect your internal organs. They think the joints are more disposable than your internal organs, but you end up having infections of your joints. So, yeah, we were pretty amazed when someone said that their rotator cuff, the symptoms went away when they were taking Pico Silver. And Julie, our wonderful customer service Julie, her sinusitis of decades, that was gone with Pico Silver. And I certainly put Pico Silver in my neti pot now. And also I'm experimenting with vaporizers and whatnot with Pico Silver, but some of them, the Pico Silver kind of clogs up. So I'll continue the experiment.
Very good, very good. It's fun when you also, after you've been on the products for a while, like Presley and others, you feel good, and a little something bumps in or whatever, and you can experiment with it. You have confidence in your body. You know that you're worthy to be well, to enjoy your own well-being. You're taking care of your health. You're doing the basics. The body's doing the rest. It doesn't require a lot from us. We're not that smart anyway. And, then you can just do fun things like Pico's, the whole year I put Remag in my hair because I was under a lot of stress, and I just thought my hair was not doing super great. And I just put Remag. I don't do it as much anymore. But, boy, it saved a lot of hair.
Yep. Yeah, and there's something to be said for the intent. Like, I intend this to work. And it's not even the placebo as much as you allow these things to work. Otherwise, we're second-guessing ourselves all the time, and that's just so unnecessary.
Yep, that's right. And we did a thing on the Labyrinth of the Mind a couple of years ago, I think 2017, and it's something we don't talk, a lot about. We did it in a webinar, but honestly, people do kind of block their own healing because they think if I've been this way for this period of time, I'm going to always be this way, or they claim their diagnosis, man, and I always discourage people from doing that. It's like, no, or I am this, I am that. And it's like, no. You am changing all the time, and every day is a new day when it comes to the body.
Right. Embrace the change.
That's right.
Here's a Facebook testimonial from Carlos who says, my doctor about 2 or 3 months ago told me that I was considered obese and should lose weight. My weight for my age was 208 pounds. I noticed since I started to drink magnesium, that I did not eat a lot. I was satisfied with smaller portions of food. Then I checked my weight and was surprised that it was 198 pounds. And I do feel the difference. And
nice.
My comment was, doctors must get involved with patients' lifestyle and tell them to lose weight, tell them to stop smoking. I mean, if doctors would just say a simple sentence, it doesn't take more than 5 seconds to tell a person, and then people kind of wake up and say, oh, okay. You know, it's just so simple, but we were never taught anything about lifestyle in med school, or it just seemed like, I remember one doctor saying, oh, well, that the dietitians can take care of that. It's like they wouldn't demean themselves to tell someone to stop smoking and lose weight. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. And a horse person says, in my work with horses, repetitive motion all but stops once magnesium status has been addressed. Horses will stall, walk, head bob, paw incessantly, and magnesium supplementation reverses that. Isn't that interesting? So, you know, the kids that are just always jiggling around and bouncing, that's a magnesium deficiency. Next, Facebook. You and your vitamins, along with intermittent fasting, have saved my life. Thank you from my heart, pancreas, and the rest of my body. Very cute. And Marie writes, you are truly amazing. Your articles are always informative and easy to understand. It saddens me that so many patients in this country are led to believe that taking prescription drugs are always the way to go. I wonder how many of those patients would be here today if they had instead taken magnesium and other important vitamins, changed their diet, started walking, cut smoking, lowered their weekly alcohol intake, cut out soda, and had water with lemon. And it's true. That's it. Just basic things, and everyone knows them, but they don't necessarily do them. A customer testimonial. Here's 3 from the same person about her relatives. My daughter, who's 22 and started Remag May 2019, increased very quickly up to 4 teaspoons and then 6 teaspoons for a short period. Currently takes 4 teaspoons. Her lifelong seasonal and pet allergies, along with body odor, are gone. Her anxiety level is just starting to even out, and her monthly cramps that had her bedridden every month are nearly gone. Her food intolerances are slowly getting better as well. She has added in onions and peppers, foods she absolutely could not tolerate before Remag. Now, that's pretty cool. These are experiments. These are all individual N=1 experiments where all they're doing is the Remag. That's the only new thing, and things shift. It's wonderful. And this customer next talks about her husband. My husband, aged 49, started Remag May 2019, still upping his dose, takes 3.5 teaspoons per day, and has experienced much better sleep, no more migraines, huge reduction in body pain. He also no longer has gas with certain foods like beans or the occasional gluten product. He continues to have detoxification bowel movements with every increase. He doesn't increase his dose again until the detox slows down. So look at those two, a daughter and a husband, all with different symptoms. And then a cousin with of this customer with a thyroid disorder and mole sensitivities is taking Remag. Her aunt with heart arrhythmia, her mother with osteoporosis, her father with insomnia and severe body pain, sister-in-law fighting cancer, brother who's exhausted from caring for his wife with cancer, my sister who's on anxiety meds, my friend who's had a lifetime of debilitating migraines, plus many others all take Remag and are astounded at the results and the near immediate results. Isn't that amazing? Now, there's a customer. Now, this customer, I don't know if she's listening, but she's having trouble taking enough to get her relief. And in discussing it with me, she gave me all these incredible testimonials. So she knows it works, and we're just sort of sorting things out and fine-tuning so it can work for her as well. Ginny, will I continue on, or are you...
No, we're just skedaddling along. No new phone callers at this point.
Got it. Remag on Amazon has 428 customer ratings, and so the Amazon testimonials have been coming in good and strong. Oh, I say the word strong because it's in this testimonial. I've used every form of magnesium that I know of. This brand is strong. Be sure to dilute with enough juice or water. I prefer to add to orange juice and add a dash of real salt. If I take it daily, I do not have the horrible muscle cramps I've suffered from for years. Also, my AFib seems to have disappeared. I advise buying her book, The Magnesium Miracle, as well. It's a life changer. Awesome. Amazon. Highly recommend this product. With Hashimoto's autoimmune disease, my sleeping patterns were terrible. This product has been a wonderful supplement for body aches, muscle pain, leading to a better night's rest. Next one, Amazon. This product is amazing. It deserves 10 stars. I had chronic fatigue, severe anxiety with panic attacks, depression, and weakness due to years of chronic emotional stress and grief. My counselor recommended magnesium, and I wanted to find the best product. After one day, my anxiety symptoms lifted. She said she felt suddenly hot all over, shaky breathing, and muscles in knots. I don't know if after one day, her anxiety symptoms were feeling shaky and hot all over and muscles and knots. Okay. After 3 months of use, I'm not back to normal, but the changes are nothing short of amazing. This is literally restoring my life. It is an answer to prayer. I can exercise again. The feelings of depression and anxiety are gone, and my mood is returning to normal. My digestion, hormones, and energy are all improving. The dentist even noticed an improvement in my teeth. I'm telling everyone that I know about how amazing this is. Most, including myself, haven't even heard of the benefits. Yet the taste is bitter. Yes, the taste is bitter, but that's a small price to pay for amazing health and vitality. Yes, indeed. I put it in water and sip throughout the day. It's not bad that way. And just two more. I have AFib, and this has actually made a huge difference on so many levels. We'll make sure I always have it. I've been taking Remag and Remite daily for and then this is the last one. I'm sorry. So we had the AFib person, and then next. I've been taking Remag and Remite daily for approximately 1 month, and my blood pressure has normalized. Great product. So there you have it. So hopefully we can find some callers or some chatters on YouTube. What do you think?
I believe so. Let's see what we're up to here. Yes, we do have wonderful new callers coming in at area code 515. 515, you're on the line with Dr. Dean. If you could give us your name and then state your question or comment.
Yes. Hi, this is Linda.
Hi, Linda. Go ahead.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate everything you do. I am calling because I actually am just getting over the flu. I came on Thursday, kind of caught me by surprise because I'm on all the products.
Mm-hmm.
And I started taking the Pico Silver every hour for the first, and it probably wasn't every hour because I had body aches so bad that the bones in my fingers even ached. So, but I do think that made a huge difference in. I think it would have been a lot worse for me if I hadn't been taking it, taking the Pico Silver. So I'm calling because I had total body meltdown, and I've been just doing your protocols and other protocols that my doctors recommended, like grapeseed extract. I'm just taking 2 drops a day as an antiviral. Just wondering if you think that the flu, did it catch just my immune system off guard, or I just feel like I'm constantly just really trying to still get healthy and feel better, and just really got discouraged with this this flu, and I'm just haven't had much of an appetite, trying to gain get my endurance back and things like that. But one thing I had a question about is I know you had mentioned before about antivirals, and I didn't hear everything about Epstein-Barr and chronic fatigue and things like that, and die-off. Well, I noticed that my knee pain during all of this got really, really bad, and that's kind of been a sign in the past that my doctor just kind of noted this joint pain, like if I take my antivirals too quickly, that this joint pain will flare up, so they back down on my antivirals. Do you think that Pico Silver is really working, and that's why my knee pain is flared up too, amongst all this?
Well, that's what we've heard from other people. The thing with our Pico Silver, it is a stabilized ion, so it does get right into the cells, whereas we don't know the absorption cellularly of other, herbs and other supplements. So I know it's getting into the cells, so maybe that's where it needed to be. But with the flu, were you around people with the flu? Were you run down?
Well, so I'm guessing it's the flu because I had this extreme body aches, a temp of 103, diarrhea, congestion. I didn't notice that at first, but in my chest, and I'm starting to cough a lot of stuff up, and then my head just really throbbing, and then head congestion, like my sinuses. And I had called, I think, a few weeks ago and had talked to you about putting Pico Silver in my neti pot mixture. And so I had been doing that faithfully every day, but then once I was down with the flu, this is the first day that I was up to doing that.
Right.
But yeah, so the only thing, I work with kids, and I was in a school, and this little boy coughed on me on Tuesday, was just coughing, really had been ill the day before, and that was on Tuesday, and then this happened Thursday afternoon, and that's the only person that I can think of that I was around, but I don't know that he had the flu or anything, so
right.
I'm not sure.
Right, it is frustrating, but I guess, you really do have to pull something out of the silver lining if you've gotten rid of your knee pain, and if you know it may be from the Pico Silver, that's good to know. I know there are layers of getting well, and sometimes you do have to go through kind of a Herxheimer reaction or a detox reaction in order to clear up a whole bunch of layers of toxicity. So look at it that way. I just unloaded and am continuing to unload, a good deal of crap. And when you get back into your like you say, getting your energy back and everything, you just remember to go slow, because you've got, just think of it, I've got all the time in the world, I'm not going to push it, because the body responds to slowly getting back on track instead of, well, I've got my energy back and I'm going to do everything today, and then you crash the next day. And that's the roller coaster that sometimes people get on, because they get impatient. They think they don't have any time.
Yeah.
So
no, and I appreciate that encouragement. And I was actually wondering, because that day, Thursday that I got sick, I had actually done a coffee enema, dry brushing, my neti pot, yoga. So was that too much for my body, you think? Because I'm trying to just do all these things to help me get better. And I don't know, maybe that I did it to myself. I don't know. Is that
possible? It's possible that you kind of opened up the pathways. It's like, I want to detox. Okay, here you go, girl.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And let's look at it that way, just kind of lightly, make kind of a comedy show about it, because here you are trying to do everything, and then it hits you so hard. But see, think of the people who you've heard the stories. Someone is so anxious about getting a certain illness, and they get it. Whereas if you just try to do one thing a day, or even one thing supportive of the immune system every second day, and just say, this is my limit. Put your energy into demanding the angels take care of you. Command the angels to keep things out of your path. Go a little higher in your demands about taking care of you. Don't think that you're in this alone. You're the God, of course, and you command the angels to help you. Rather than, you're not alone. I mean, you're not alone because you have us.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I pray about it all the time too, and look to God for that.
And I remember once on a plane, a woman next to me, she was from Mexico, and all of a sudden she said, oh my God, I left my purse in the bathroom in Maui. Oh no, it's terrible. I said, look, your purse is fine. Maui is so aloha. No one's going to steal your purse. So we get the flight attendant. They called through. They found her purse. But before they told her they found it, she prayed, and she said it was okay for a few minutes, and then she started worrying again. I said, well, didn't you pray? And why are you doubting your prayer? Just stop it. So we know we have the most incredible bodies. Our bodies are gold, and they can do whatever we want them to, especially with the building blocks. I mean, that's our whole philosophy. And we give them the golden building blocks, and they can be perfection. But then every once in a while, I get nailed. I usually get nailed for a total biology reason, and I just, it's just another experiment, another adventure.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is. So what would you say, Pico Silver, how much, since I'm recovering, would you recommend? Like today I've maybe had 3 teaspoons, 3 or 4.
Yeah, 2 and 3 teaspoons is probably good. And go to drcarolyndeanlive.com and download the Future Health Now Encyclopedia, Linda. And
I already have that.
Right.
On my phone.
At the bottom, think about some of the homeopathic remedies there, and see if, like the phosphorus or something like that would help, sort of shift your energy. It's just that homeopathy is an energetic medicine that helps shift things on an energetic level to just give your body a new dynamic.
Okay, so I read the blog today, and I saw that there was a lot of homeopathics recommended So are those in the homeopathic kit that you have available?
Some of them are. Some of them are. Many of those in the Future Health Now Encyclopedia and in today's blog are pretty obscure. You'd probably have to. So start with the ones, if you have the kit, start with the ones in the kit first. But that kit is very good for people who have, sort of total body meltdown and the chronic fatigue, so that when you get an ache or pain, you have something very natural just to work with. And the homeopathy will have an effect of its own, but also the action of taking an action will direct your body and the angels to do your bidding. When you take action, the body responds. It's the people who sort of sit helpless and wait to go to the doctor and then, okay, I guess I got to take this drug. That's where the problems arise. But Ginny and I are trying to give people the tools that they can use, and using something is very important.
Yes. Yes, I absolutely believe in all your products. I recommend them to everyone, and I feel so comfortable with your philosophy of you have to support the body at the cellular level, and that's why we'll always take your products, because I feel like that's what I'm getting, and that is the most important thing. And then, like you said, my body will respond, and it is responding, but
you just love your body. It's I get so mad at my body when I start to get a cold, and then I say, okay, no, it's okay. I'm trying to tell me something. So it's they're just little reminders of us, the contrast, and then we work with it, and we overcome it, and we're stronger for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I give you a big hug. I am here hugging you.
Oh, thanks, Carolyn. Appreciate it.
Okay, Linda, thank you. Bye, sweetie.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Okay, excellent. Very, very precious call. Thank you so much. Okay, and let's go also to area code 732. 732, you're on the line with Dr. Dean.
Hi, Ginny. Hi, Dr. Dean again. It's Diana. I have another question.
Oh, very good, Diana. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, with the mix that I'm going to create for my daughter, once the paste is created, do I massage it onto her lymph node, or and then I put a bandage or the gauze pad over it?
Right. Yes, it's you put a thick layer of the clay on the area, and just sit it there, and tape it down with if you've got a big square of gauze, just tape it down with some skin-sensitive tape. And maybe the best time is to put it on at bedtime and leave it on overnight.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then another question that I have, I know you were talking about before with regards to collagen. I try to I'm taking collagen, but only because I'm trying to boost my calcium intake. And usually I resort to actually foods instead of having to take capsules and things like that. So I found a collagen called Naked Collagen, and it has 484 milligrams of calcium in one scoop. So I've been taking one scoop in the morning and one at night. I'm just wondering, how do I figure out how much calcium or how much elemental calcium I'm actually consuming? Would you know
well,
how
the
I could do
absorption
that?
of calcium from food is, as I recall, about 50 to 60%. So if you're getting 800 milligrams, then you're getting like 400 to 500 milligrams of elemental calcium, and that's close to the 600 that I recommend. Now, I know I'm getting too much calcium if I've said many times before, if I eat some yogurt and then I get a heart palpitation. So that lets me know that I've got too much calcium that's pushing down my magnesium. So what they're saying here on the Mega Collagen, magnesium is magnesium chloride, 60 milligrams. Vitamin C has ascorbic acid, so that's synthetic, 150. And the proprietary collagen bovine, but they don't say how much calcium. Where's the calcium?
I don't know. This is the only thing this has is bovine pasture-raised calcium hides from Europe. That's all it has, and there are no artificial sweeteners or coloring, anything like that. It does have a little bit of protein, which is 9 grams of protein, but it's all organic. It's dairy-free. It's soy-free, and it looks like it's really, it's just a pure stuff.
Well, collagen doesn't really have calcium. It must be an added. It must be added, which means it's just, an ordinary calcium. Maybe there's a little better absorption to it if it's a supplemental calcium added to collagen, because collagen doesn't naturally have calcium except.
Oh, that's interesting.
We'll send the label through to Jenny at support@rnareset.com, and let me check it out.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so very much to you and to Jenny. I love your program, and I love taking all your supplements, and I'm very excited to continue with good health.
Very good. Yeah, we're having fun too. Love answering.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. It's exciting. Thank you. Have a wonderful night again.
Okay, thanks, Diana. Bye-bye.
Come on.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, so I think we're caught up on our callers, Carolyn.
Wow. That was some day, actually. A lot of information passed through our little hands in spite of being hacked, in spite of all that.
Yep. Oh, here comes somebody running in at the last minute right under the wire. Okay, area code 213 out in the great state of California. You're on the line with Dr. Dean. If you could give us your name and then state your question or comment.
I had raised my hand. I guess it didn't go through, so I tried it again. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful show. So many beautiful things. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
So, okay, I heard you say something about mixing the magnesium with psyllium, and I have an ileostomy, and I've noticed it's hard for me to keep increasing the dose because it just comes out of me so fast. If I eat certain things and it's like I'm like eating more, which is good because I do need to gain some weight, then it's not quite as liquidy, but then sometimes at night it's just completely liquid. So how do I do the thing with either psyllium or maybe what's that other one that slippery
aloe vera.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting a good psyllium seed powder, which you may have already, and just mix that up with some water and put your however a teaspoon or a half teaspoon of Remag in with the psyllium and experiment and see if it slows things down enough that the Remag gets all absorbed higher up without getting down into your ileum area. What have you done with the Remag lotion or spraying Remag liquid on your skin?
I have another kind of, what is it called? This
magnesium oil?
Yeah, they call it magnesium oil, and I forget the name of it. So I use it occasionally. I don't use it consistently. So,
that's definitely the way we advise people who have the stomach stapling or the ileostomy or colostomy, that they can really use our Remag lotion as a total body skin cream, and it'll hydrate the whole skin. Plus, the magnesium absorbs and treats the cells. That's the real solution. So throw out your other body cream and just use Remag lotion.
Okay, I think I have a very thick body cream. It's really thick, and I think I did. I'm not sure what I put in there. It was either partly the magnesium and maybe partly castor oil, but I've diluted it quite a bit. So would that be okay?
Yeah, just keep track of your dilution, how many teaspoons you're putting in the body cream, and how much you're using, because you want for symptoms of magnesium deficiency, you want at least 2 teaspoons a day. And we have 30 seconds, so are we good? Are we good, Zoe?
Yeah, we are. I have a lot of other comments, but, I'll just say that I took everything with me. I traveled for 2 weeks, and we're between all the stuff, the B and the C and the Pico and the Remite and the Remag, and some other herbal stuff and whatnot, and I didn't get sick.
Yay!
Yay! I stayed pretty good. Yeah, it was great. I stayed well, and I relaxed a lot too.
Good experiment. That's wonderful. Okay, bye now. We're going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Carolyn. Great show. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Ginny. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I love that.
You're all doing incredibly well.
We're doing incredibly well.
Thank you, Bob.
For questions about today's show, email Dr. Dean at questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com.